What is up, everybody? PC War Room. We are gaming. Yeah, finally. Um, but anyway, no, we're not gaming right just yet. This has been kind of long overdue. I want to do a follow up on some of the recent purchases I did to the tower and to the gaming rig. And it's more of a review ish type thing. Uh, the one I really want to touch base on is really the graphics card, the GPU. And the GPU in question is a PowerColor Red Devil 5700 XT. Uh, this thing is a beast, and I have to give it to PowerColor. That was one heck of a design on this card, and I hope they continue putting out quality product like that. Now, um, before anybody says anything, here's the thing. I've watched other reviewers, and I am not like the other reviewers. Okay, I'm not paid to say anything good. Okay, just because I gave props to PowerColor, they're not paying me a dime. Okay, I bought this card out of my own pocket, and I bought it from Amazon. It wasn't given to me, so keep that in mind. Any of my reviews that I do, they are my opinion because that is my money that I just spent. So I'm not under contract. I'm not under any obligations or anything. So anyway, moving forward, I'm just disappointed in a lot of the reviewers. Uh, which takes me back to what I just said. I'm disappointed in these reviewers because the PowerColor Red Devil was not reviewed like it should have been reviewed. Uh, it was mostly just I mean, I'm doing the same thing, but I don't have the tools to do it the way it should be done. But I just want to get my opinion out there. But they should have done a breakdown like they've done numerous times on some of the other cards, and but no, the only thing they wanted to do was we're just going to slap some half-assed benchmarks, and that'll be it. But let's push the other side. Let's push the NVIDIA side. And that's the way I kind of took out of a couple of the videos that I did watch, was it was more of a downplay to push the NVIDIA cards. Now, I get it. NVIDIA is, top tier. It's top of the line. It'll give you 5 billion frames per second. But honestly, after 100 frames per second, what does it matter? You can't tell the difference. You won't notice the difference. And that's already been proven. So, my opinion as far as graphics cards are concerned, anything that touches the price of $800, $900, or even $2,000, uh, that's not a gaming card. That is a workstation editing rig. You know, I'm making multi-billion-dollar movie cards. And so people that are going out and throwing their money at, away for these cards, I mean, I guess each to your own. To me, I think you're kind of stupid, but hey, that's just me. Um, so, anyway, the PowerColor Red Devil is, I've been playing with it for a while, and I love it. I'm getting, consistent frames per second on all the games I do play. Call of Duty, uh, bleh, Call of Duty, Mech Warrior Online, uh, Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Division 2, Breakpoint, and also, the big ones are the survival-based games. Not so much Ark, but games like Rust, Scum, um, Conan. Any survival-rated game is it takes a toll on a GPU because it has to render in all of that, you know, all of the frames. So this thing, I love it. Um, but my main gripe from the other reviewers is, I want to talk to you guys about two things: temp and fans. Uh, some of the reviewers said, this thing, it's running hot. It's running hot. Okay, guess what? The RX 590 ran hot. I mean, geez, I owned what I thought was one. Freaking no problem hitting 80 degrees on that card. And it was a two-fan card. So, the temp that I get on this card is roughly anywhere between 65 and 70 degrees. It does not go any higher. Now, that is on the GPU side. I want to make sure you guys are aware. Mine will fluctuate between 65 and 70. Okay? It will go in between those numbers always and stay there. It will never peak. It never has peaked past that. And I also want to let you guys know I am using the OC, the overclocked BIOS. There's a switch on there. You get two of them. You get silent and you get the OC. I am using the OC. So I'm not overclocking nothing. I'm letting the BIOS do it all. And, you know, the other thing, the only thing I do know, silent just means it's a quieter. It's supposed to be quieter, so the fans don't ramp up as high, and you don't hit, the max potential of this card. And OC takes it all the way up to like the 1910 at memory clock, and literally like 2100 or 2200 on the core clock side. So, but the fans are still keeping this thing cool, and they're not ramping up past 50-60%. So, and then this brings me to this biggest gripe that some of the reviewers have mentioned, and I've actually read this from different people too, talking about the fan noise. Um, just to see what these guys were talking about, I maxed out my fan on idle, sitting right here at the desktop. And now I'm going to inform you. Okay, I can literally right now reach out and touch the face of the front, or the front face of my tower. That's how close this thing is. Okay, it's not sitting on the floor, it's not in a corner, it's actually in a corner, but it's sitting literally no more than about 20 inches away from me. And the background noise you're probably hearing is an AC. Well, I do have the AC on today, but now I've had everything off. And I ramped up the fans to 100%. I couldn't even hear it. To me, it didn't sound any different than any other time. And the fans are ramping up to 3000 RPM. Now, I also have 10 fans in my case on top of that. So, you guys sitting there complaining that you're having, the fan noise is annoying, or you might actually want to maybe check the fans on the card, because there are literally no differences in mine. Even my wife can't even tell the difference when I ramp it up. I've had my brother come over here and I've ramped it up. So if three people cannot hear any distinguishable difference, then therefore you've got a something is wrong. Either, a bearing could be going out in the fan, or, something. So, the card to me is a solid build. And for the price point of what I got it for, uh, this card is, to be honest, a great, uh, was a great purchase. Okay, I bought it off of Amazon, and I think I paid, well, with overnight shipping, because I didn't want to wait. I paid $4.29. That was with overnight shipping. So if I hadn't have done the overnight, I think it was like 375, 380, and it was an open box. And do not be afraid to buy open box product. I mean, just make sure you do read. Okay, the only difference in the open box product that I got was it didn't come with any of the extras. Uh, it was the special edition. It didn't come with the RGB mouse pad and, the stickers and all that. So, but I really don't care about that. I just care about the hardware. And, I bought my MSI motherboard the exact same way. Open box. It had everything, but the thing of it is, that one had just about everything in it, except for the CD, which no one even uses CD anymore for drivers. Um, so don't be afraid of that. If you're looking for something, then go to Amazon. Keep looking until you find, like, it'll tell you open box or refurbished, or whatever. But for the price point of what I gave for the card, which, the Red Devil edition normally runs right around 429, 439, I think, somewhere right around there. And I got it for 3, but then I overnighted it, so it cost about the same. But you guys might be different. Um, Sorry, mic malfunction. Don't you just love it? But uh, anyway, I want to get down to some of this stuff here. I did do some benchmarking for you. Um, and I'm not just trying to just, throw the numbers up there. Uh, but I want to give you my benchmarks, not their benchmarks, because, I don't get paid. I don't have a contract. This is my rig. This isn't no super rig, you know. And, before I do the benchmarks, I want to re-litrify the heat situation. It's actually funny that the guys that do the review, they're talking about the heat, but they're using an open test bench. That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I'm in an enclosed case. My case is closed. So if yours is in the open, yours is taking in the nice, cool, ambient air and it's exhausting it wherever it wants, then therefore it should be cooler than mine. Just food for thought. Because, my rig, I am doing push-pull on the radiator. Mine is front mounted, and the fan is actually blowing the air, the hot air, actually onto my graphics card, and it still stays within 60 or 70 degrees. So now I'm actually curious if I were to move my radiator to the top, if I'm still going to be 60 or 70. So, yeah, food for thought. But anyway, um, these benchmarks are a little different. I was actually testing a theory. Here is the first one I'm going to show you. Uh, I run 32 gigabytes of RAM, uh, 3000 megahertz. But normally, when you first stick your RAM in, it doesn't go to 3000 megahertz. It goes to, whatever their base is. And the base on mine is 2133. And I'm using all 4 slots. I know, bad. But anyway. And then, I've also got, MSI's got a feature called Game Mode, which does its automatic overclocking. Well, this first one I'm showing you here is with Game Mode on, but my RAM at default, 2133 megahertz. And I was only getting a 3024. And everything's custom, ultra, and normal. Nothing was played with. An AA. And then here is the second one. Now, this kind of confused me a minute until I realized what I had done. This one here is the new one, which you can pretty much tell the difference here. When I done this one over here, I had a slight system issue with Radeon. So I rebooted, and then I redone the test. This was what the retest was. Now I did this test 2 more times, and I was within 3 to 4 points on the score. So this one here, I'm going to lean more toward being accurate than this one here, because I think this was a software issue on this side. This had to be software. Uh, but anyway, same thing. Game mode was on, 2133 megahertz on that. So, and then here is my next one. This was at game mode on, and then I put my RAM back up to 3000 megahertz, well, 3066. So we pretty much didn't really change much, because this was with the reboot at 2133, and this was with the 3066. So, I did gain what? About 180, 84? Nope. Yeah. Somewhere around in there. I can't count today. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Um, so RAM does matter, apparently. Not by much, but apparently it does. And then just with me pretty much screwing about, I played with the memory clock, and that's what I got. And that was with me just playing with the memory clock and setting it all the way up to 1900. Nothing else. Well, that and the power limit, I went all the way to plus 50, so that way you can get whatever power it needs. So overall, what do I really think about this card? Um, I love it. It plays all the games that I need it to play. I get consistent frames per second, regardless of what all these other guys are doing. I mean, when you start overclocking your system, you're going to start hindering something down the line, whether it's going to be your memory, your CPU, or your GPU. And to be honest, if this card comes out of the box with an OC setting, just flip the switch and game. As long as you're hitting 100 frames per second, just game. You know, keep an eye on your temps, of course, but don't worry about nothing else. So, you know, my opinion, if you want an upgraded card, you want a decent upgraded card, grab yourself a Red Devil by PowerColor. Uh, you will not regret it, even though, you know, a lot of people are, you know, always going to jump ship no matter what. But, I mean, if you want to save up your money for the next 2 years and buy a 2080, you know, go ahead. But there's not a game out that you're ever going to utilize a 2080 to its fullest potential. I mean, if you're going to do that, you just might as well just downgrade yourself back to the 1080 Ti, since you know it's still priced as much as the 5700. But anyway, this is the review. This is, you know, my advice. It's there, and you know, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to be doing some streaming, some gaming later. So catch me up, and you guys take it easy, and happy gaming.